The Homer family has welcomed a new member named Duncan. Homer told Duncan to duck his head whenever they went through a tunnel. However, the cost of keeping a horse was a huge burden on the Simpsons' finances. This left Marge feeling quite resentful about the whole situation. She figured they might as well have a pet mop instead. At least with a mop, all Marge would have to do is toss it a few cookies and it would eat them right up. However, Homer had a clever trick up his sleeve to help pay the bills. Homer and Bart took the horse to football practice, hoping to enter it into a game. But Homer soon discovered that horses aren't actually allowed to play football. Bart then hit on a brilliant idea. They could train the horse to dive for pearls. This sent Homer spiraling into a wild fantasy. He imagined himself lounging on a bed made entirely of pearls. In his dream, there are many actual pearls in the food. Even his mirror was encrusted with sparkling pearls. The mere thought of it had Homer doubling over with laughter. While Homer was busy laughing, Bart came up with another way to make a quick buck while riding the horse. His new plan was horse racing. Homer immediately began training the horse, but in typical Homer fashion, he had no intention of following the standard training manual. First, he convinced a lonely woman to come downstairs and keep him company.
Ma'am?
Next, he focused on giving Duncan some words of encouragement.
When the race starts, run really fast.
Before long, the horse was ready to hit the track for its first race. To ensure a victory, Homer relied entirely on a positive reinforcement style of coaching. However, there was one detail Homer completely overlooked. He didn't realize that racehorses actually need horseshoes. This led the onlookers to believe that Homer's horse wouldn't even finish the race. Homer remained confident in his horse at first, but that confidence quickly evaporated. It turned out the horse's odds of winning were a staggering 5 million to 1. The race officially kicked off, and all the other horses bolted ahead. Only Duncan remained stuck at the starting line. Bart kept cheering Duncan on.
I believe in you!
And the horse finally broke into a full sprint. Unfortunately, the race was already over. Afterward, Homer and Bart sat down to figure out why they had failed so miserably. They decided they needed a total rebrand, and just like that, Duncan was transformed into the bad boy of the racing world.
Only in America! Ew, you used my bracelet for a nose ring!
When Homer and Bart brought the new and improved Duncan to the track, they were mocked by the snobbish elite.
Get this!
That's my third monocle this week. I simply must stop being so horrified.
Marge, however, wasn't laughing at Duncan at all. She put her money where her mouth was and bet that he would win. The race began. Duncan didn't hold back. Even though he started in last place, Bart steered Duncan to literally ram the other competitors off the track. In the end, Duncan crossed the finish line in first place.
Furious D!
When he saw people taking his picture, he maintained his tough attitude. Even Homer felt a deep sense of pride in his horse. In the races that followed, the mere sight of Duncan struck fear into the other horses. One by one, Duncan racked up victory after victory, but just as Homer was celebrating with a trophy, he was blindsided by a secret plot.
What happened?
Homer found himself lured into a strange, hidden world. It turned out the rulers of this world were actually the jockeys from the races. They felt they were constantly looked down upon by society. They believed they only gained respect when their horses were champions. Because of this, these secret figures wanted Homer to lose the next race on purpose. After returning home and talking it over with Bart, Homer decided to take a stand against the jockeys. The jockeys, of course, weren't going down without a fight. A brawl soon broke out between them and Bart, but Duncan stepped in and managed to overpower the attackers. Ultimately, Duncan won the big race. After the event, the angry jockeys chased after Homer and Bart.
You must die!
Luckily, Marge showed up just in time to save them. Homer ended the ordeal by stuffing all the jockeys into a trash bag.